In the early parts, yes, it will be communicated.
While you were observing the stories as they rolled out, and we also covered it live as well, after nearly 24 hours, what have been your observations from both sides? Because the Attorney General has now issued a statement.
Good morning to our viewers, and good morning to Felix and yourself. I will start by saying I do not understand why notices, if I call it notices, they are flying around statements.
Why not? The Attorney General
Let me give an example. Ato Forson begged for ambulance case to be discontinued. You are an AG, you are in court. Everything is evidence. Under what circumstance did Ato Forson beg for the ambulance case to be discontinued? Was it done through his lawyer? Because as you read out there,
I'll read that out.
If you read it again, any communication with regards to a case, if the other side wants to probably have words with the other side's client, you go through his lawyer. So this statement by the Attorney General that Ato Forson begged for ambulance cases to be discontinued, was it done through his lawyer? Number two, I was a bit surprised with the judge. I do not know what was said in chambers when the judge called both of them, both lawyers. But the accusations that has been made by JAPA and the response by the Attorney General
under oath
needs evidence. And I expect the judge to tell both parties to produce the evidence of what they are saying, to get down to the truth. Isn't it the truth you are looking for?
Really?
Yes.
You want that
yes,
in open court?
Why not? They've said what they've said in open court, haven't they? And the evidence should be said in chambers?
Well, one has said it in open court.
Well, whatever the case is, Attorney General too has come and put out a statement. So, if that is the case, bring the evidence out in open court, and let's see who is speaking the truth or who is lying. Because somebody's life is on the line. And everybody is is innocent until proven guilty. Now, let me say something about the NDC and their press conference. The case is still in court. If you have any evidence towards this case, take it to court. I don't think you should have a press conference when a case is actually live in court.
Why?
What are you going to say to add to it? For me, it's sub judice. The case is in court. After the case, maybe. But if you feel you have evidence against the Attorney General, and that evidence can help the client, give it to the client's lawyer and let it proceed in court. Let all of us see. Because going to have a press conference is just going to muddy the waters, and the politicians are now going to play football with it. Let's take it. Whatever evidence is there, let's take it for everybody to see and everybody to hear. Anyway, when you look at ambulances, how are ambulances structured? When you order ambulances, how is it done? Do you not bring the ambulance in as if I can call it, an empty van? And then once it comes in, all the accoutrements and everything that is needed is plugged into the ambulance for it to work?
You mean retrofitted?
Yes, retrofitted.
Well, it depends.
The ambulance that came, well, even if they're going to put some
things in. You mean the standard?
Yes, even if they're going to put some things in before it comes, there are things that, with the journey, it would not destabilize the ambulance and spoil things. But let me ask, the accoutrements that were required to be placed in the ambulance, where are those accoutrements? How long did they stay in the port for? It was in the port for quite some time. Felix, I lie? Yes, it was in the port for quite some time. So, the evidence that is going to be brought out based on what has been said in court, and I thought that JAPA, once he said the Attorney General approached him and all that, then there he would have produced the evidence. Or he was provoked. And because he was provoked, I would have thought he would tell the judge, Judge, from what I'm saying, I would like to tender X evidence for the proceedings to have a look at. And then we take it from there. So, for me, where we've gotten to now is based on the evidence. Let all the evidence come out, and let's see who is speaking the truth or who is being economical with the truth.
Well, really, if I may come in, you see, two things. And I was
why do you want to have a press conference? Because it's one issue.
I will address that.
Address it.
Yeah, Mr. Jantua raised an issue about the judge and expressed surprise that the judge ruled a certain way. To be fair to the judge, she insisted that what Japa was saying in relation to damage conduct should be on the record. So that means that it is part of the court record. And when she has to make a determination, she will consider that. Because, in fact, Japa also insisted that he wants that matter on record, meaning that he is prepared to go the full hog and supply any evidence that there may be, so that what he is saying can be grounded in real fact. So, on that score, I don't think the judge erred. Also, it is only proper that if the courtroom becomes heated, the judge takes steps to calm tempers. And that is what she did by asking them to go into. So, in respect of the judge, actually she conducted herself well, and she was fair to both parties. Now, regarding the accoutrements, and you see, we are engaged in public discussion. And again, what I'm about to say is a matter of public record. Japa has said this in court. The accoutrements, you see, the reason why they say there was a problem in the ambulance, and there's a letter that Honorable Alessebefia wrote, indicating that there was no medical equipment in it. There were other accessories that had been fixed in the ambulance, and I hope you see the inside of the ambulance. In October 2016, a container load of equipment, health equipment, medical equipment, to be fixed in this ambulance, arrived in Ghana. This government has simply refused to clear it. It's been at the port for 8 years. So the very reason why you say the ambulance is not fit for purpose has been sitting at the port for 8 years. So if indeed this government was interested in abating loss, all they will need to do is to clear. And you see, the Ministry of Health, in other words, government of Ghana, is the consignee, which means that they are the only ones who can clear it. Yes. And yet the thing has been at the port for 8 years, and you've left that, and you are going to court to claim that people have caused loss. But we in the NDC, you see, we have a direct stake in ensuring that our members are not treated unfairly and unjustly.
That's why you want to organize a press conference?
You see, we have told you that it is not just this matter. Dame has a record. He has gained notoriety for judicial manipulation. There are many. Yes,
how do you come to that conclusion?
There are many things that we know that we will speak to at the press conference that buttress this point. So when we have one more instance of manipulation on his part to unjustly imprison a member of our party, we have a legitimate right to rise to the defense of that party. It does not mean that whatever evidence needs to be put before the court will not be put there. Indeed, as I've indicated, the judge herself has indicated that she is interested in the statements made by Japa in court, and that this should be reflected. In fact, when the court closes for the day, both parties are finished with the court, a copy of the proceedings, as Mr. Jantua rightly knows as a lawyer. So when you read it, you see that it's captured there in black and white, that it should be reflected in the court's records. So there's no difficulty at all in terms of anybody's ability to prove what is happening. But beyond that is the fact that every citizen, to begin with, the Attorney General is a public official. So his conduct is subject to public commentary and criticism. We in the NDC, as stakeholders in Ghana, believe that judicial processes should not become a tool that is used against political adversaries for the sake of it. We believe that that is precisely what this Attorney General is doing. And therefore, every now and then, when we have cause to comment publicly on this and draw attention to this, we will do it. And that is precisely why we are going to hold that conference on Monday. Because this country belongs to us. It does not belong to Akufo-Addo, merely because he was voted for as president. And as I have said already, we in the NDC have a right not to like him, not to like his governance. Not liking Akufo-Addo or his governance is not a crime.
But Felix, you know that when there's a case in court, you don't undertake acts that seem to prejudice.
But the Attorney General has issued a statement claiming that somebody has approached him and he has a video. Why? He didn't know that the matter was in court. The Attorney General has issued a statement full of untruths and lies. He has put an MPP journalist, Paul Adumachi, on TV to peddle lies about Ato Forson and others. We in the NDC have a right to respond and correct the record. Number two, I have told you that the Attorney General, whether he is in court or not, is a public official paid with the taxpayers' money. For that reason, his conduct, his work is subject to criticism, evaluation, and scrutiny. It is that scrutiny that we will carry out when we address the matter. And that is without prejudice to anything that is happening in court. In any event, when you go to court, the reason why you reporters are allowed in is that the court is an open place. What they are doing should be transparent. Everything that they capture on record is public information, available to you in the media and both parties. So to that extent, you can speak, especially when the Attorney General has sought to distort the facts and deliberately create an impression that nobody is begging him. In fact, even Big C has not begged him. Big C says, if you say that the ambulances are defective, let us have it. We will pay you your money. That is not begging you.
The Attorney General says he has video evidence of...
I am saying that it is a lie from the pits of hell. I will repeat it. He has nothing. And I'm challenging him today, this morning. He should send that evidence to you in TV3 so that you air it for everybody to hear. At least we in the NDC have said that in respect of the evidence that Japa speaks to, it will come out early next week. Haven't we said that? Has the Attorney General committed to putting that video out? Let him put it out now.
He says he has it.
He does not have it. Let him put it out. Let him put it out now, if he has it.
Now, we've also been joined by law lecturer. He's also a regular on the show, Kingsley Amwakwabwedu. He's right there. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And you take a look at the position of the Attorney General, and then also all the commentary that has gone on, and the concerns that had been raised by the NDC following the admission in court by the accused. What conclusions can you draw as a legal practitioner and law lecturer, and then also by way of a note of advisory, not only to the media, to the NDC, whether it's the MPP or any other interested party in this case?
Okay, good morning to my fellow panelists. I think this is the first time I'm meeting you, Alex.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Oh, this is the first time you're meeting?
The very first time I'm meeting him. Yeah. That's for my CPP man, presidential candidate.
Oh, he's a presidential candidate. Okay, I see.
I don't know.
I didn't know about that.
I have not.
They usually tease him with.
Okay.
Welcome to the table.
Well, so I look at all these things happening, and I am amazed at the extent to which NDC will go to make a point. You see, when you're doing a matter like this, you allow the case to go on, to proceed. If, like Felix said, if the atmosphere in the courtroom is tensed, most of the time the judge will rise and allow the lawyers to calm themselves down before he comes back or she comes back. Or invite them either to the bench there and then and give them a stern warning, or invite them to chambers and tell them, you people, calm down. All right, so you need to have conduct of your court, all right, control the court. And so you see some of them, even when there's a matter which is funny, like everyone is laughing, you see them in their face, they won't, because they need to control their court.
Stand face.
Yeah, stand face.
Because of the rules of the court.
Yeah, they're trained to do that. You need to take control of it. So for that to happen, there's nothing wrong with that. And we all encourage, even by our profession, that's why we call ourselves learned friends, so that there's no adversarial stance taken. Now, the ingredients of this offense remains the ingredients of the offense. That is what will convict or acquit and discharge the accused persons. Okay.
Based on the evidence.
Yeah, the ingredients of it.
Based on the evidence.
So you establish the ingredients with the evidence. Do you see? Whether someone is trying to get you to change the story or fabricate whatever issues, all right? If you bring an evidence and the person is able to establish that this one has been fabricated, then it goes to whether it should be admissible or not. At times it may be admissible, but then the necessary weight to be attached to it.
What's your point with this?
So, it is immaterial to the case in court. It's immaterial whatsoever to the case in court. The case in court is running. Now there's the affectionary tactics adopted by NDC. And you see where my friend was going. That they are now, he meets the judges and fabricates things, and it's like he has a coercive impact on the judiciary. I think that shouldn't be said on this platform. I don't think it should be said on this platform, because the judiciary is a strong judiciary. They are members of their own. Can you imagine that you are saying that you can go and have a coercive influence over Justice Ladyship Justice Fiasewa. It's not possible. I was in court when Ayega matter happened. When someone came to say that Ayega cannot come, Honorable Ayega cannot come because there's something happening in Parliament. I was in court. I was part of Kennedy Japon's team then in court. If Fiasewa said, in my court, I give the person up to this day, this time. If it doesn't appear, we will see. We got down in 15 minutes' time. The whole of the lawyers in Parliament were coming. That is the Fiasewa's court. So you can't go there and say that, or you can't use this so-called press conference.
Lawyer Mokwabedu, for the record, nobody has said anything to pass any disparaging remarks.
That's what they do. He said.
Indeed, what he did say was to rather commend the judge sitting on the subject. And that, I think, some few minutes ago was even one of the liners when it comes to.
Yes, and I'm also adding that. I'm also adding to that because I know, and it's not the only person because I appear in courts. I know the judges. You cannot do anything to influence them. At the end of the day, the evidence you are giving, is it admissible? If it's admissible, which we attach to that? Let's not divert from the case. You're asking questions.
But nobody is imputing the judge.
No, I'm not saying that anyone is imputing that. You cannot even.
Yeah.
I'm saying you cannot even.
So the judge has control of that
your press conference and whatever you are saying,
that is where
it cannot have any effect on this case. It's a diversionary tactic. Cannot have any effect on this case. The end of the bottom matter is that.
No, but
do you have the ingredients of this crime? Are they established? You establish him with the evidence, the quality of the evidence. That's all.
Because you're even a law lecturer and also practicing, it even makes the conversation more educative and spicy.
Yes.
Wherein we have an accused person, a critical person in the matter before the court.
Yes.
Make a statement. We seem to suggest the lead prosecutor of the state. Indeed, the prosecutor of this case for the state in court had made an approach to him, and even upon restraint, still goes on to submit or say to the court that he has evidence to that effect. That whether you're witnessing in court or you are associated with a case should arouse suspicions or should arouse concerns, whether in the court of public opinion or within the structure of the judicial system. Is that not the case?
As I said, ingredients...
What did you say?
As I said, ingredients of the offense is what we concern ourselves with. We are not interested, the court is not interested in any other thing which is not material to it. Now, if you come to court to say that this person has approached me, you need to bring the evidence, all right? And let's see whether that impacts on the case. It's not just by saying it. You need to bring the evidence. Let's see whether that impacts on the case. All right? Now, when you have made formal approaches to me, which is stated in the letter of the Attorney General, and you now turning around to say, I have approached you, it also raises a lot of concerns. And we can do that outside the court. But we should not lose track of the matter in the court, the ingredients, and whether we are able to establish it. Otherwise, you see, when I was coming, I was listening to my brother Felix.
Well, when you were coming, you were listening.
I listened to everyone.
Yeah.
I listened to everyone. That's how, I mean, I do not want to lose anything that is said.
In fact, it's what you should actually do.
Yes. So
let me become L, you still listen.
Well, it happens to all of us sometimes. So.
Fire shot.
I've been in that position before, so I understand.
Fire shot.
You think it's been mischievous? Eh?
No, not mischievous. It's something personal.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Now, if you're not careful, and I don't wish that on anyone, but Ghana must have our money, and there has to be justice. But I don't wish that on anyone, on the minority leader who's rising in his party. He's just be replaced. He's replaced someone. He's rising, and all of a sudden he's convicted. We don't wish that for him. but justice also
That's
must see.
immaterial to the
No,
conversation.
no. It is material to what I'm saying. Now, we don't want that to happen, but if it happens, justice must be served. Now, we also don't want that after that, the impression is created that, the AG goes about fabricating evidence and meeting judges so that he can convict those who are vocal against the government.
You think that's the impression that has been created?
That is what he said.
It's an accused person who made a
No,
statement
that's what he
against-
said. That's what he said. That anyone who is vocal against, so he's a hatchman. That's what the words he used. Hatchman, who is prosecuting people so that they will not be vocal against Nanado's government. I think we should move away from these things.
Okay.
And look at what are the ingredients of it.
of the case.
Of the case.
All right.
Can we establish them with the pieces of evidence available? So that if the person is convicted, we know that we don't wish this for you. But
Okay. Let me ask you this. Yeah, as part of my research for this interaction, some great lawyers, friends of mine, have read my mind to this. They said there's a legal professional conduct and etiquette rules, 2020 LI. It is LI 2423. And it says a lawyer shall not, in the course of representing a client, communicate the subject of the representative to a client and knows to be represented another lawyer, etc. Now, when you go, it says acting on behalf of a party, etc. Then in relation, shall not communicate directly with any other party for whom, to the knowledge of the lawyer. So you can't do that in the present. So if let's
read it properly.
No. So basically, it says a lawyer shall not approach, communicate, or deal with a represented person on a matter, or attempt to negotiate or compromise a matter directly with a represented person, except through or with the consent of the lawyer of that represented person. Now, this one, in relation to the gentleman who is the accused, who made the statement yesterday in court, that he was approached by Ghana's Attorney General to do something about whatever it is, against Ato Forson, who is the first accused in this case.
Yes.
How that the evidence he gives should be skewed to
a certain way. That is actually
that's
germane.
the key. Yes.
It's not just the fact that he engaged him.
Too.
That would not be a problem.
Well, that's what he said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be skewed.
So this really.
So and I have to go
no, Mr. Bodu. And on the
we need the facts.
on the
allow him to flow.
And on the official record of the court, this is the only submission, and if we can take it as an allegation against the Attorney General officially, that has been made. And but going by your own rules, guided by this LI, he shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
Is that not the case?
Okay. So when I like the passion with which you are talking. Now,
I'm questioning.
Yeah, I like the passion. Now, I've said here, he makes an allegation. He needs to substantiate that. He hasn't. It remains a bare allegation. Now, if he's able to substantiate that, this goes towards etiquette of legal profession, not the substantive matter before the court. That's the distinction I've been trying to create. And the focus will never shift, as far as this matter is concerned. The focus will never shift from any alleged propriety or impropriety act of a lawyer, but it will be on whether the ingredients are present and you're able to establish same. That is what we should be talking about. It is not an allegation made. After all, he does not also deny that one Big C and other people sent letters in an attempt to settle the matter, isn't it? He does not deny that. In fact, everyone knows.
It's a matter of public record.
Exactly. Everyone knows. And it wasn't successful. So he should come and establish that he was approached and this was what was discussed and this was what the AG wanted him to do. You should come and establish that. All right? Public opinion, court of public opinion. We are interested in the court. Is there justice? Because justice emanates from the court. We all drink from the streams of justice. Is there justice being played out? So that If, and I said we don't wish that for the minority leader. If that happens, no one will go and stand somewhere and say that, oh, it was manufactured and whatnot. And that is what is being played out now. That's what they are seeking to do. Because your submission of no case was so successful. You are not in the box. So if you read where things are going, if you are not careful, there will be conviction. And then you start playing this out, you don't do yourselves any good.
He's going to be convicted, eh?
I'm not saying that. I say,
so what are you saying?
If you, looking at what is playing out in the court, you think that he may be convicted, and you come out with this line of action, you don't do yourself any good. You should rather focus. How do I get my client out of this situation? How do I prove? Because now the burden has now shifted onto you. All right? So now, how do I raise? And you see, for criminal law, it's even easier for the accused person because the bar is the reasonable doubts. How do I raise doubts in this matter? That should be your focus. How do I raise doubts? So that the person is not convicted. But for you to be focusing on this and say that because the AG meets people and is coercive and anyone attacking the judgment is what not. And that is why
law lecturer practices the law, says the NDC and its assigns, you're just taking rabble-rousing red herring.
You see, Jakpa said this under oath. Under oath. He had sworn to tell, and you know the consequence of lying under oath, right? He actually insisted, as the judge, to place this on record. The judge said yes. The judge instructed her court recorders to let the records reflect that Jakpa has said so. It tells you that the judge is interested in learning whether or not what Jakpa has said is true. Jakpa has also said that he is prepared to back it with evidence because he has it.
Let him bring the evidence.
No problem. The moment it is established that the Attorney General has sought to get a witness to peddle falsehood to implicate the person that he has put on trial, the heart of the matter is that the Attorney General has come to tell a lie before the court. That is what is happening. Indeed, if the Attorney General had the ingredients that he claims he has, why would he need Jakpa's cooperation to falsify evidence against the person he's accusing? The other issue too that I must raise is that, in fairness to the judge, I think she acted properly by getting the allegations placed on record, going on recess and coming tempest, and adjourning to 28. Nobody can say that she acted unfairly, and none of us here has even criticized her in terms of her. Indeed, I have gone out of my way, and you know that I have been critical of judicial happenings in this country for a long time, but I have gone out of my way to commend her handling because I think that she handled it in a mature way. I have been in her court since this case started. I think she's been fair. Sometimes you even forget that you are in court because of her pleasant disposition and all that. But the point must be made that let nobody tell us that in this country there is no evidence of judges being influenced. Roland, through an access documentary, we saw high court judges being influenced with goats and yams and some small amounts of money. Nobody can tell us that an attorney general or powerful government elements cannot lean on a judge to do certain things. So that narrative that people seek to paint, that our judiciary is sacrosanct and that it's not populated with human beings, and that the same influences that you and I are subject to.
You are saying why it's been disproved?
Why? But you've seen evidence of it. Has the judiciary itself not taken action against judges who received bribes in the form of yam and goats and small amounts of money? Has the judiciary itself not taken that action? So the notion that this government cannot lean on judges is not one that should be accepted. But again, every Ghanaian has a right to voice concern when there are indications that the government through its Attorney General is trying to subvert the course of justice. What the Attorney General has done by attempting to get Jakpa to falsify testimony. Indeed, in one of the instances, on the morning that Jakpa was going to court to testify, the Attorney General called him.
How do you know this?
I'm telling you that for a fact. And why?
Do you say submit it to the court?
But I have told you repeatedly that one, Jakpa himself has urged the court to put it on record and that he is going to prove it. Number two, we in the NDC have told you that in the coming days, that is early next week.
Why should we wait till Tuesday?
Oh, but why? But we need a formal engagement to put it out. We cannot just shoot from the head.
Can I just say
the point I'm making? But when you were speaking, I kept quiet.
No,
again, speaking about the ingredients,
you have a minute.
I have told you.
You have a minute.
Yes, regarding the ingredients, what is the specific allegation against Ato Forson? The Attorney General says that he wrote a letter without authorization. Indeed, he speaks about the submission of no case. He should read the judge's ruling on the submission of no case. She narrowed it down. The case against Ato Forson, she narrowed it down to just proving that he had authorization. I have also told you that his boss, who is the only person who could have given him authorization on a matter of public record, has come to court to say, I gave the man authorization. So Ato Forson's party, Ato Forson's team is confident that he has done enough to prove his innocence. But this matter that has come in shows that this entire time, the Attorney General was only scheming to falsify evidence against him.
NDC, leave it.
Why should we leave it? No. Every Ghanaian must be concerned when evidence emerges of judicial manipulation. It is not just a matter in court. You see, Roland, the judiciary is an institution of state. Just like the way that people criticize the presidency, the work of parliament. Every institution of state is subject to criticism. So if you are doing your work and we find that somebody in government is able to subvert the course of justice and that innocent people are put in prison, every Ghanaian ought to be concerned. So we in the NDC are concerned, especially when it concerns our minority leader. And we will speak and speak and speak about it. And we will do so next week.
I wanted to say something.
What do you make of the position that has been espoused here right here? And Amako Budu has that the NDC should leave this matter, perhaps not even go on to undertake a press conference on it, leave it for the court.
I've questioned the press conference that the NDC want to hold.
Why not?
I think because the case is still in court, if you have any evidence, present it to the court. Now,
the evidence will be there, but it does not mean that we cannot criticize the conduct of the Attorney General. They are two distinct.
Please allow him to.
I'm so sorry. You see, the evidence will be presented. But we can call out the Attorney General.
Allow him to make his point.
In a press conference. That is allowed. The same way we can call out the president.
This one, I'm talking for him. Allow him to talk.
Oh, of course,
stop that.
He himself appreciates.
Go ahead.
See,
sorry about that.
You have 4 minutes on the subject. Then we'll
sorry about that.
Any allegations made in the proceedings of this case goes to the ingredients of the case.
Absolutely.
Goes to the ingredients of the case. So far as that allegation is made, if it's an allegation that is ultra vires to the case, then it has no standing. Exactly. And the judge will throw it out. But what they are saying goes to the ingredients of the case. And the evidence of it would show whether the accused is guilty or innocent. And as I keep saying, evidence is key. Look, I don't understand why, and I don't know when the Attorney General of the Attorney General's Department made the statements that they've made with regards to that the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice has disclosed that there has been intense pressure from all manner of persons. When did they make it?
Exactly.
Was it before or after?
Yesterday's statement.
But the Attorney General should know if this has happened and they want this to be shown in court, they should show the evidence of who gave them, who put that pressure on them. Don't come and stand outside and also do what the opposition too is doing. Take everything, especially Attorney General's Department, take everything to court and let's see the evidence. Those who are putting pressure on the Attorney General, it will show. They will be able to show the evidence. And if it's true, the judge will look at it, and if the judge has to contend it within her statement, she will do it. Let's take everything to the court because this is a live case.
Well, that's true.
That is happening.
Wait. I want to say, okay, you ask a question, I'll rope into it.
So, where the accused person makes a categorical statement for which the judge even makes a recourse that this should be put on public record, and this is under oath.
Exactly.
No one can say that this should not arouse or whet anybody's appetite to comment on this, and then even relate it to matters of ethics and guidelines which have been breached, which could also prejudice the case.
Roland, and before you come, you come, no problem.
You wanted to take over?
No. You go ahead, no problem.
Because clearly, this is a man who is in the dock.
If I have let him not take my time.
No problem.
He makes.
First of all, you were late. You forfeited a great chunk of your time.
He makes
at the right time to say what I have to say at my time.
He makes a categorical statement.
Yes.
And it's unwavering, and comes back to say there's even more evidence I can't adduce to back my evidence.
You know why I'm laughing? Every case.
He even refused to drink water that was offered to him by the court.
Can you imagine this?
Refusing
to drink water.
It is right.
Listen, you know why I'm laughing? Every case start with you swearing, either the Bible, the Rosary, the Quran, or whatever you believe in. So whatever you say is on oath. You know the lies that come out of the court in spite of that? So whether he says something on oath or not, the person is in the box. Again, the person already filed a submission of no case and was thrown out. So the person now has to defend himself. So the fact that you are saying that
how's that related to a statement he makes?
That means nothing.
You see, the fact that you are now saying that the person has made allegations and whatnot, it's neither here nor there. The person has to defend himself. Okay? In defending himself, he's saying things that he needs to establish. So don't be emphasizing he said it on oath, he said it on oath, he said it on oath. Everything on record is said on oath. People have said things on oath and have been found guilty. But there are several
in this
people.
case, we're talking this case.
Yeah, but
you're a legal practitioner.
Exactly. So
let's speak to the facts.
We are speaking to the facts, and I'm telling you, you say I'm a lawyer, so I'm educating you as well. I'm saying
you're even a teacher, so
I'm educating you as well.
Teacher, yeah.
I'm saying, forget about this oath, because people have said things on oath and have been convicted. And every case, everything said in court is said on. In fact, the next day you'll be reminded of your oath. What we are dealing with here is that he has made an allegation. He wants to substantiate it.
Under oath.
Yes.
What is this
You
oath?
know that
What is this
because
oath?
it's on oath,
Yes.
more weight is placed on it than the Attorney General's statement. It's not under oath.
Exactly. So,
And interestingly, the Attorney General did not refute that claim in court.
no, it's okay.
do you want me to talk?
I'm supplying information.
No, I don't need that
to garnish
information.
your
I don't need
reputation.
that
Go ahead.
information. Now, so everything said in court is under oath. There's nothing that is extra weightier, because everything you're saying, your life is on the line, and you've said everything on oath. Now, you have made an allegation. Substantiated. When you finish, we will see whether this whittles the weight of that evidence that is against you. Whether this whittles that. Whatever you're saying is the truth or not. That's what we're looking at. It is not that the Attorney General has acted in such a way that the whole case, the entire case, it has to be thrown away. Or if it happens, and I don't pray it does, if it happens that the person is convicted, then the whole thing was attributed
Who has said that? Nobody has said that.
That is the result of his submission.
That's your interpretation.
No.
Yes, but I'm allowed to have that interpretation. All right, to say that whatever, and that he's a hatchet man and he approaches judges and what not. Let's be fair to the process, and even the ingredients. I refuse to discuss it because I am a lawyer, and I will not discuss a matter which is sub judice. I will not. That's why I'm not going down that road.
If you independently observing these proceedings, where you have a client, who your client in the dock makes a position that the other side has made an approach without recourse to you, would you be concerned? Because you've been raising very much hypothetical situations here, and this is a hypothetical situation.
Everything we've said here is hypothetical.
Would you be concerned in this hypothetical situation?
Yeah, but then my main focus would be, how do I use this to my advantage without going to the public? How do I use this to ensure that then everything that as I said, the burden plays.
You didn't answer my question. I
am answering your question. I'm saying that I would use that information to the advantage of my client, because as I said, the burden placed on them is just raise reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt. So that is what I will use to raise a reasonable doubt, and not to say that a person has a penchant of going to, and I like the way he mentions, if you say penchant, he's the first person who says penchant. He has a penchant of approaching judges and using his weight, and we are all amenable to influences. These are all conjectures. The fact is that if you are saying a judge, because some judge was found culpable, you are saying that in every instance, the weight of the Attorney General is so great that it causes judges to bend, and those people they bend to his whims and caprices because of the president. Then you have a long way coming in establishing very long way.
Is it not true? Per our
this.
Constitution, you go to 88.
Yes.
The gentleman or lady who is appointed as Attorney General is a politician as well.
Yes.
Shouldn't that arouse concerns if a key figure, an accused person, makes this categorical statement? I mean, that's the reality.
How does it raise a concern? What concern does it raise?
That the person being prosecuted or being taken through prosecution is a politically exposed person. And so, how the case travels...
As the accused person.
Yes. How the case travels is a matter of public concern.
Yeah, but you don't need just a politically exposed... A politician, it's not even a politically exposed, a politician, a minority leader. You don't need that...
In this instance, yes.
Yes. You don't need that to make the public have an interest in a case. There are several cases which does not even involve those. The public have an interest, depending on the matter, you see. So it's neither here nor there. The fact that the Attorney General Governor must do his job. You also have a job to do. But in this instance, certain transactions have gone on. The Attorney General feels that they are setting untoward. You have to come and establish that in the court of law. That's all.
When is the press conference?
Well, early next week. But is it Roland?
What is early next week?
Monday or Tuesday? Monday. That's the early.
Oh, I thought it was
Roland?
Tuesday.
Okay, we're wrapping up on this.
Roland, you see, the point must be established clearly that the judiciary is not shielded from public scrutiny any more than the presidency.
Yeah, but I haven't said that.
Exactly, but all you are saying is that merely because there's a matter in court, if other matters emerge that arouse public interest, they should not be commented upon.
That's not what I'm saying.
If we hear that the Attorney General
You say it's not.
is engaging people to fabricate evidence against the minority leader, we will not right away that then there's political witch hunting. For which reason we in the NDC, especially because he's a minority leader, will comment. Nobody can gag us from doing that.
And
Number two,
I want you to comment if that's
but I'm commenting. But I've commented.
To now say that it is the real, it is what is happening. That's what I'm talking about.
But there are so many instances we can cite.
You should involve that
there
from
are
the
so
matter.
many.
What are the instances?
Why? Were you not in this country? When only a few weeks ago, by mere stroke of a pen, he got a case abridged. Which activity or which courtesy was not extended to others who requested him by stroke of a pen?
Which cases?
The matter involving the hearing of the suit filed by Roxin, the Fiamepo. Meanwhile, the first one that was filed, which is in favor of government, has not been heard. There are so many. Look, in the Opuni case, what hasn't happened? In that case, where a judge who is so openly biased as to publicly endorse the president for elections sits on this case, every effort to get him to recuse himself fails. Another judge is appointed, makes a ruling that the Attorney General is not happy about. Within the twinkling of an eye, he is transferred. And I even hear that he's been transferred to Kumasi. He does not have a court to sit in. So there are so many things that we could say. Your time won't permit us.
Yes.
But when we hold that
we
press
don't have the
conference,
time.
when we hold that press conference, we will establish that we in the NDC, just like any other Ghanaian, has the right to voice concern when we see judicial manipulation happening, when we see lopsidedness,
I don't hold brief
when we see unfairness.
I don't hold brief.
You understand me? When we see unfairness.
And the president comes to my area.
You are not allowed to do that.
I am allowed to talk about the good part of the government.
Praising the president to the hilt, which should not happen.
Why should it not happen?
No.
Why should it not happen?
It is almost partisan to do so.
How is it partisan? The president, when you look at the law, which is indeed the case, the president's name is in there, championing for human rights. That's a fact.
No. Human rights.
So who was he praising, the president or the lawyer?
Roland,
sorry?
How can we be told that this president...
He was saying that this president...
Who was the Chief Justice praising?
He's saying this president.
Is it
Roland, he did not say that. He only says that whilst
he has championed causes,
she said that whilst
it is reported.
She says that whilst he's been president,
and the forum,
he has upheld human rights. The president under whose watch 8 people were killed and he has done nothing about it.
And the forum demanded that. Forum demanded that.
Gentlemen, let's let's calm.
just-
Let's
you have a long
calm
way
down.
to
I think
establishing
that just like the court will bring water.
Just a-
No, we are
No, no,
it's
we
not
want-
heated at all.
We want tea. We want tea.
No, it's not heated at all.
Just a question. Just a question.
So my friend Mani Nimani says, we do not trust the judiciary at the moment. That is why we want to hear everything
Roland, even
outside
if we
the
trusted
court,
them,
whether
we
we
still have
like
the right
it
to
or not.
comment when there's evidence of
so the
manipulation.
public is
Just a
concerned.
question. Just a question. The judiciary is the third arm of
government. Yeah.
of government. Third arm of government. Which one of them are politicians? Which members of the judiciary are politicians? When you take the courts.
None is supposed to.
Well, in recent times, there have been politicians appointed to become judges. That we know of.
Just a minute.
They are appointed, but
They are attorney general.
I should give you a little.
Atuguba
no, it's okay.
stood for elections. Ross,
Please.
Ron is appointed.
Please, when you were talking
Wait, I do
about
have to for election which party is coming.
guys,
Oh, my
Only
party
party.
candidates.
guys.
So he's actually.
But it's Ron who appointed
But
me.
it's actually-
But it's Ron who appointed me.
Please. The attorney general, his position is in the constitution. The minister of state of justice is being given to a politician. Isn't there a conflict of interest there? Where the attorney general, who is now a politician,
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that those two positions should be halved.
The lack of decoupling is raising a concern.
Because that is what gives the attorney general
The impetus.
the impetus to now comment as a politician to the case.
Okay. So let me ask you this. In relation to what has emanated from the court in the last 16 hours, how would you describe the position of the Attorney General in that statement being the position of the Minister
of
of
the
Justice?
statements? Which of
The statement he issued in relation to he having video evidence of the first accused person, which is the former deputy finance minister, current minority leader, haven't approached him, and he has video evidence. Which of them would you categorize as a statement coming from the Attorney General or coming from a politician, the Minister of Justice?
The statement he made is coming from a politician.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's coming from a politician.
All right.
Because if it's coming from the attorney general, he will present it as evidence in court.
Exactly.
Simple.
All right. So let me just.
And for the record, Japa has said his in court.
Yes.
It's on record.
You are.
Samuel Amwabin says
It's a fact.
lawyer Jantua has been too quiet today. He's been firing on low levels.
He needs to recharge his batteries, perhaps.
Rex Akambe says the MPP lawyer should be civil and allow his fellow panelists to talk and interact. I think he's been quite nice. Musa Abatwa says, I find it quite strange on the decision of the AG using all the missiles in his disposal or at his disposal, trying hard to prosecute Ato Forson when there are pressing issues like Cecilia Dapa, SML, which must interest the AG to get money back to the state, not an action that has been taken by an appointed official. Evans Blade, simple thanks to lawyer Jantua. Fantastic. It gives you 2 short. It's a GU2. And then also, I have a couple more, and then we'll say goodbye. I'll ask. So I have this one from Julio Zagawa, who says, the Attorney General Gofadame's actions are rather more political and not being, professional as expected of him. He will go in the history as it is. Harry Akwete says, the vocal, vociferous leader, critic, and nightmare of the administration of government is being victimized by the fabricator, coercive, impunity, concoctor, intimidating.
That's the narrative. That's what you're project.
No, but people
The Attorney General. The Attorney General is the leader of the bar. How could you tell Jakpa to lie to the courts? Do you think Jakpa will be standing in the dock and on oath lie when he knows the repercussions and what the actions thereof could be? Let me read some more messages. I have this one from Blueprint. It says, the burden of proof, Roland, is now shifted for the accused person to prove his innocence after a prima facie case has been established against him. Blueprint writing from Esikado Kitang. And then I have this one from Master Planner Junior Kintampo. Since 2017, when Dr. Bawumia assumed his office as vice president, today is the first time an NDC communicator hasn't mentioned Dr. Bawumia's name on your show during discussion, regardless of the topic. People are in hot waters indeed. Jail is calling pair. Press conference cannot rescue a person. That causes financial losses.
People have not got
mention his name, Dr. Bawumia.
He ends by saying,
he's probably mention the city. He can't mention the city.
Triddles.
Roland,
yes,
let Bawumia mention the city today.
Triddles. Oh, he hasn't been mentioned.
Can he mention the city? If he is man, he should mention the exchange.
The Attorney General, Gofredame, is not prosecuting. He's rather persecuting. Okay, so that's Triddles. I had comments from Money, and then also Erickson, MK. Kofi Kwatin says, did the Attorney General Gofredame coach Dr. Edu Ampoma to testify against Dr. Oponi too? All these are matters that interest us, the public, and those who are interested in our politics and how our country is run. Kakri Samuel says the NDC must have its press conference. Fair comment is not contempt. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for passing through. I wanted us to comment about how the CD. Have you monitored the rates?
Is there a topic for?
It's almost 16 cities now.
Is there a topic for today?
It's almost 16 cities.
Yes, and so let's leave it
Okay,
there.
but why would you want
It's 15.
Are you sure that if the city was stable,
What's the rate you have?
The pound is nearly. The pound is nearly 19.
Let's focus on this case. I'm saying
why? People should not focus on the economy.
Reasonable doubt. That's that burden.
Roland, I've been telling you all morning.
It's so light.
As far as
to raise
Ato Forson is
Maxwell
concerned,
Akpabia,
he has
I
to
was
create
constituency.
narrative.
I fear for the life of Richard Jakpa.
Lawyer, please read the judge's ruling.
These MPP guys are capable of doing anything.
When you finish, read the court
Let's
records.
listen to
Your
what they-
curiosity is satisfied.
Maxwell
So
Akpabia
that one has
says,
been done. But this
at this
one,
juncture,
we will speak about.
I fear for the life of Richard Jakpa. All right. So that'll be it for now. But let me just go through this one. It says, it's only in Ghana young politicians just become rich within a shorter possible time.